you have to get into the right emotional and psychological posture as well. And many of us don't do that. We really don't do that. At the most we say, well, I'm going to follow the path, follow the guru, follow the teachers later on. Is that right, Sarah? You agree? When I get myself together. Right. When I solve all these other endless problems. Right? And remember, life is endless problems. You are still under the illusion that your problems are going to come to an end. Your problems are never going to come to an end. Let me repeat this, because maybe by repeating it and saying it loud, it'll get through. Maybe, you see, your problems are never going to end. They are endless. Not even at death. They're going to follow you even to the beyond the grave. Right? They will not end by definition. So you are never going to get ready to practice. And look at people now, because I've been around a little while, folks, and I've had the luxury of watching the outcome of that philosophy. And I know those who were there in the beginning just as I was. And their philosophy, well, I'm going to get serious on this path and I'm going to really practice my meditation, but first I got to get myself together. 25 years later, they are still in the process of getting themselves together. I talk to them. How you doing, man? How you doing, girl? I'm going to be getting myself together, man. Is y'all still having satsang? I'm going to get but I'm working on something. They've had projects and they've been running them all that time. They're still trying to get themselves together. What do that mean? They are avoiding change, aren't they? What they're saying is that I ain't going to change. I'm not ready to change yet. Now that's all right now. Please, I'm not condemning this, but be clear. Just don't bullshit yourself about it. Just say that I don't want this stuff yet. I'm not ready yet. Just be clear. Don't call yourself spiritual. Stop all of that. You see, I'm a spiritual person. I'm interested in spiritual things. You're not interested in no spiritual thing. You're not a spiritual person. You're just really a worldly person who read some spiritual books. That's it. But you're not a spiritual person because you ain't doing nothing spiritual. How you going to be a spiritual person? You ain't doing nothing spiritual. You're not meditating. You're not restraining nothing. You've not changed nothing. How are you spiritual? You see my point? Just get into that. It's all right. Go ahead. Exhaust yourself. Go ahead. Try to pull off the impossible. At some point, it's going to dawn on you. I have faith in your intelligence. Yes.
Well, one thing I think we get locked down in our habits.
Yeah.
And therefore, we can't overcome those habits, so we can't get out of that home.
Yes. Yeah.
And you don't make any progress because you're a creature of habit.
Yes, that's true.
And somehow we have to break the habit, I guess, from some strong desire to do so, first of all.
Yes, yes. We have to, as you say, Sandra, it's a lot of times, these tendencies have become habitual, right? And we have to resist, we have to restrain. That's what makes it work. That's what makes it feel like dying. That's what makes it feel difficult, right? Because we are disciplining. We've not been in the discipline, right? We've not put ourselves into any kind of discipline. And when you start putting yourself into discipline, you start feeling it for the first time, right? It's just like when we meditate for the first time, you had no idea your mind run that fast, did you? You had no idea you have that little control over your mind. It's really scary, isn't it? But the very first time you sit in meditation, you realize, oh my God, I have no control over my mind and attention. This damn thing is doing whatever it want to do. It shocks you. But that has always been the case. This is not just starting with meditation. And the same is the case throughout the whole system. You don't have no control over nothing.
And then after going through the meditation process, over a period
there's always that resistance. This is the struggle. This is the struggle. This is the battle that must be waged for the attainment of enlightenment. You know, this is the pain that has to be gone. And there can be no gain without pain. You see? And very often the thing that sustains us through these trials and tribulations is having this clear understanding of what's going on. This is not making us bad. It doesn't make you good. It is just the case. Estamos sanantano. This is how it is. But certainly we have to have an original posture. And our psychological posture and our attitudes have to be on the money. Right? And so we have to really get into that posture where I'm going to do this thing. I mean, you really have to have some degree of determination and commitment. If you don't have determination and commitment, coming in and practice, you're not going to make it on any kind of meditation system. See, that's another point you have to keep in mind. If you don't have determination and you don't have this kind of deep commitment, you're not going to make it. You're going to get blown out of the waters. And so each of us have to look personally. And it's, you know, and with ruthless honesty is, see, is this the right thing for me? You may find that you might want to stay with your pastor a little while longer. You may find that you'll be much more comfortable in traditional religion. Really, seriously. I don't mean that as a joke. I mean, you might be much more fit for that kind of level of spirituality, where there's not going to be much challenging. Because if you come to a path that's a little higher, you're going to start feeling guilty. See, because your intelligence understands, you know, that I should be this, I should be that, I should be not be falling into this and that, right? And that's going to just create more suffering in you, because that guilt is there. Whereas you can go to a traditional religion and you're not going to feel guilty at all, you know, because they're not going to put any demands on you to do anything to change at all. And you'll be much more comfortable. You can live better with yourself. This kind of knowledge, when you get it, haunts you. So you have to be very careful about this here. There are many that, you know, everybody have that point in their life where they get off the path. Now this is interesting. It's not that this individual get off the path is some kind of freak occurrence. No. That happens. Everybody. Some may stay off 2 days, some may stay off 25 years, but they getting off the path. This is normal. You see. They try to get back into that old posture, right? And they struggle to get back into that old posture. But that knowledge hunts. It hunts them. And they're not ever able to relax again. So before you even hear teachings, you know what I mean? Be aware that the teachings will hunt you, right? And the best thing is that if you don't feel that you have all this stuff, don't hear too much teachings. You know what I mean? Get out while you got a chance, you see? And that way it will be easier for you to slip back into your life, to be much more comfortable with that, to go unbelieving that you're going to be able to end your problem. Because hearing too much teaching, you're not going to be able to hold on to that illusion long. At some point, the teachings is going to bust that down. It's going to bust through that. And you're going to be in a tremendum now. Don't hear too much of the teachings. If you really are serious about making an effort to end all your problems, and I said, to get yourself together first. If you really believe that, then don't hear no teachings yet. Try to plug your ears. You know what I mean? And if somebody is talking teachings around you, then go to sleep. Do anything. Distract your mind. But don't let that stuff in there, because it's going to make it very hard for you to pursue that strategy of getting yourself together first, and then to pursue your spiritual practices later. So we have to get into these right postures, of which we're not just talking about the physical posture. Okay? So these are sanas, you know. The other things for meditation, and we're going to take a break a little bit, but I just want to preface this thing here, right? The other thing that we have to do before we even start talking seriously about any kind of spiritual practice, you have got to get a solid moral foundation. Obviously. Another big mistake we all try to make. We're going to leapfrog past morality into enlightenment. This is not going to happen. It has never happened. It never will happen. You got to get a moral foundation in order first. You got to get that stuff in order. And that is the thing that we don't like. That's just the first level of dying, right? Now you feel the resistance, right? That away. Because the first thing that you got to do, you got to bring body, speech, and mind into discipline. And you got to start feeling your struggle right away now. You can feel it coming up in you. Damn well. Well, Master, do I really need to stop and get out of my 15 relationship with these women? Do I have to really give up all of my women? You see? Master, do I have to really stop shooting those? You know what I mean? I mean, you start feeling that resistance immediately. And those who really don't have your interest at heart say, well, I guess it's okay. You can keep screwing every woman and every man that you like, and you can drink and shoot and dope and do all of that. That's all right. You can steal a thing. No. You're going to have to bring your life into a minimum state of moral order. First thing. Otherwise, you're not going to get nothing from the past. In fact, you're not even going to be able to do any kind of meditation or yoga. You see my point? At all. You're not going to be able to do anything. You're not going to be able to bring your life into enough discipline where you can even, for instance, one of the things that we say is that you got to meditate regularly and punctually on a daily basis. Okay? Showing up for the same place, same time, day in, day out. Without laying a moral foundation, you're not even going to be able to do that at all. Without a certain level of discipline, you can't do that. You see my point? You can't stop watching TV till 2 o'clock at night. You see what I'm saying? You can't do that. You can't even regulate your sleeping in such a way that you can set aside 1 or 2 hours in the morning and practice. You can't even do that. So, what good is you knowing the mantras and all of this other stuff? Your mantra is not doing you no good because you don't even have enough discipline to use your mantra. Do you understand my point? So it has to be as foundation. And so that's one of the things that we all fail to realize. And when it comes time to do that, we just full of all kinds of reasons. Yes, go ahead.
Question on my mind is start meditating. How long should you meditate? And are you going to show us how to meditate?
Well, I have a bargain. I will show you how if you will do it. I'm not sure whether you will keep your side. You see my point? That's why we're having this conversation, right? I have shared a lot of techniques with a lot of people over these years. And so the question is not that I'm withholding on my side. You know, I know that in 6 months, and I'll say, well, Kufu, how many hours of meditation did you do today? And you'll give me about 13, 14 excuses within 60 seconds. Well, you know, Bhagwan, shit, you know what I mean? My life ain't been going well. I lost this little job, and I have a hard time. The neighbor upstairs plays music all night. I mean, you see what I'm saying? I'd rather take care of that stuff first. There's not going to be any problem from my side. You see, the problem is going to be your side. And it will be there if you fail to do this kind of serious thing. First, see if you really want to be a meditator. That's the whole point of my having this fireside chat with you, so to speak. Try to see if this is really what you want. You know? And remember, it's all right if it's not what you want. It's okay too. And really see what motivates you. You know, are you looking for initiation into a meditational system with the hopes that it will eliminate you from having to go through any hard work on yourself, that you won't have to change, that you can become enlightened as you are? Because I'm telling you, as you are, you will not be able to become enlightened. That's not just personal about us. It's true about all of us. You see? You have to look at those motivations. I'm trying to give you a full disclosure. You know what I mean? No small print. Everything is set up for you. Otherwise, you'll just come here and you will get frustrated and you won't do anything. And then you'll go on to some other nonsense, right? And that has been going on because we usually don't have a proper understanding of what's involved. And my task is just try to make sure that I'm as clear as possible, knowing that in spite of how much I talk, there's still going to be misunderstanding about it. I know no matter what is said that some misunderstanding is inevitable. That we'll work that out, you see. But at least let's get clear enough to know whether or not this is something that you truly wish to commit yourself to. Something that you would really want to get involved with. And then we'll cross that when we get to it. Yes, Brother David.
I have a question. I heard you say that praying or meditating in the same place for a person that travels, would that be a problem?
No, it's because we know that there's always these extenuating circumstances. When I say the same place, for instance, the posture you take is like the place, right? And so if you're in a hotel room, it should be no problem to get up in your hotel room and do your hour or 2 hours of meditation. It should be no problem, you know?